Hi, it's Andy from gymnutrition.co.uk. Back again with another video, and today, as you can see, I'm out on a bike and it is frigging hot. What lane are you going in? Left lane, right? Any indication going on? Oh yes, there's indication. So anyway, today's video I wanted to talk about, because I haven't done a video again for ages. I can't seem to get into doing videos at the moment. The good old subjects of Sarms, because it seems like Sarms are the only thing anyone's remotely interested in on my channel, which is fair dincomes and all that. So I haven't done a Sarms video for probably over a year, I would say. It's probably longer than that, the way time flies. And I still get the questions on all the old social platforms, and a lot of questions are from younger people. Now when I say young, I'm old, don't forget, so anyone sort of 21 and under is considered young in my head. So I'm going to stick with 21 and younger, but obviously various ages it sort of applies to. But a lot of these youngsters are saying, well, I'm 18, I'm 21 or whatever. Am I too young to take Sarms, or will it be okay? Now, where do you start with this? Now, I understand that in today's society everybody wants everything yesterday. I understand all that. You know, these people are keen, and it's just the way things are nowadays. But what you've got to consider when taking Sarms is they're not a natural supplement, they're not herbs, it's not a test booster, it's not a pre-workout protein powder, etc, etc. They're drugs, they're chemicals, they're drugs. They're no different to steroids. Okay, they might not be quite as potent as steroids, and people see them as like, oh well, I'm only young, I've not took steroids, I don't want to take steroids because they're really bad. But these Sarms look really, really good. Can I take these? Because a lot of online people sell them, including myself, to be honest, for research purposes only, obviously, in the UK here. Then they consider it in their head to be a safe alternative to steroids, which again is fair enough thinking along that lines. But what I would urge you to do, I mean, are they going to take any notice of me? No, probably not, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that when you're 18, alright, well let's base this on me. When I was 18, my testosterone level was a lot higher than it is now. I'm in my mid-50s. Well, I'm actually 56. I'm 56, you know. So my testosterone levels were a lot higher when I was 18. So therefore, the higher the testosterone level, the more muscle that you're going to build. That's facts. Now, with every passing year that goes down and down and down until you get to my age, like I just said, and the testosterone level is really, really low. So you could argue the case that the older you get, the more sort of reason, especially if you've been training for, you know, I don't know, 8, 10, 15 years, whatever. If you've been training a long time, then yeah, okay, give it a go. That's, you know, who am I saying don't? But if you're at 18, you've got enough hormone naturally in your body to build muscle. Now, having said all that, you're not going to suddenly turn into Mr. Olympia after a couple of years because you're 18 and you've got high testosterone level. Now, you are going to build a considerable amount of muscle if you train hard enough, which, looking at people in the gym when I'm down there, most kids, I nearly said, that's a bit condescending, isn't it? But most young people do not train hard. I look at these people, I'm always doing it when I'm on cardio. I'll stand on the cardio machine overlooking the gym, and I'm looking at groups of lads training, and they're usually like, you know, there's at least 2 of them, sometimes 4 or 5 of them, all doing training together, all doing the same thing. And if there's 5 of them, 4 of them will be standing on their phone chatting, the other one will be doing what looks like some sort of like warm-up set cross with having a seizure, and then he'll chat halfway through the set to his mate who's on his phone. His mate might take a photo of him for the gram, and then they'll do a few sets like that, and then they'll leave the weights all over the floor and then go to the next exercise and repeat the process again. That is not training hard. I mean, seriously, it's not that difficult to train hard. There's loads of videos on training, how to do it. Just, you if you can't read, just go on YouTube and look at videos. Just, you got it easy nowadays. Not like back in my day, you've got it easy, kids of today. So that's the first thing I would say. You've got to train hard, and also you've got to eat as well. It's no good training hard and not eating. You don't grow in the gym. The gym, if you are training hard enough, will give you stimulus. It stimulates your body into thinking, oh my god, you absolutely destroyed me in the gym yesterday. I need to be able to get bigger and stronger in order to cope with what you're doing. Otherwise I'm just going to shrivel up and die in the corner. So your body adapts to what you're doing. It's a bit like, I mean, Dorian Yates always come up with this analogy, which is a pretty good one, similar to what I just said, but obviously better than mine. He said, like, if you get a bit of sandpaper and you rub sandpaper on the palm of your hand, back of your hand, or whatever, you rub sandpaper on your hand, it's going to cause an abrasion to your skin. Now if you leave that a while to recuperate, in other words, like after your workout you recuperate, that skin's going to heal. Once it's healed, if you repeat the process on the same bit of skin, let that heal again, eventually after a few months or whatever, you're going to have a really thick skin on that bit that you keep using the sandpaper on, because your body is adapting to that stress that's been put upon it, and it'll make that skin thicker. You ever notice if you train a lot, and especially if you don't wear gloves, you get them calluses on the inside of your hand down there. You get calluses and thick skin. That's again your body's growing because you're putting stress on that part of your hand. So your body's growing, adapting to what you're doing. Exactly the same with using weights. Your muscles will grow to adapt to the stress it's putting it under. But it's progressive overload. So once if you can do, I've said all this before, so excuse me waffling on, but if you can do 200 pounds for 8 reps on the whatever bench press, if you do 200 pounds for 8 reps every single workout, year in year out, well, guess what, your body's not going to get any bigger, because I can already do 200 for 8, mate. I don't need to get any bigger. Every week I do 200 for 8. I'm big enough to cope with that. I need to do 200 for 9, and then maybe 200 for 10, and then maybe 205 for 7, and then 8. You got to keep pushing, not by sacrificing form or anything like that, but you got to keep striving to do a little bit more. Train harder than last time, lift more than last time, as Greg Doucette would say. He's got a valid point, to be honest. And also the eating. Once you've created that stimulus, that reason for your body to grow, you've got to feed it. So that means protein. Protein, again, is made of amino acids. Amino acids are building blocks. So building blocks build bodies, amongst other things, but for the sake of this video on building muscle, aminos build muscles, yeah. So you need a constant supply. It's like having a gang of bricklayers and say, right, okay, I want you to build this house, please. There's 1 pallet of bricks, and then you go back next week and it's like, yeah, is that all you built? I was expecting the house to be like massive by then, but you've only built like, 2 foot of bricks. Oh well, you haven't supplied enough building blocks to build this big house, have you? So it doesn't matter how good your bricklayers are, you've got to keep feeding them with bricks to build it. Same as protein, you've got to keep feeding the protein, the amino acids, to build the muscle. So eat, sleep, train, repeat. You've got enough natural testosterone in your body to build muscle. Now you will come to a plateau at some point, but that might take you a couple of years. It might take you 2, 3, 4 years, whatever. But keep pushing when you're younger. Do not rush into these things. If you do rush into these things, what's likely to happen? Well, as with all anabolic drugs, steroids, SARMs, you're going to get an element of shutdown. So what that basically means is when you take steroids especially, they're a lot harsher, but steroids, SARMs, whatever, you're going to get an element of shutdown. So that basically means that when you take an additional hormonal product, like for said steroid SARMs, your body thinks to itself, oh, seem to be getting a lot of hormones here. I don't need this many hormones. So your testicles, if you're a man, that make testosterone, they will basically slow down their production, because what's the point in me making all this testosterone when I'm getting it from somewhere else? so it'll basically shut down a little bit. It's not going to shut down overnight, but it will slow down the production. Yeah, that's nice. It will slow down the production, so with every passing week it'll be down, down, down. And when you come off the steroids, the SARMs, even if you don't do a PCT when you're young, the chances are you'll bounce back. But with every cycle you do not bounce back quite as quick and quite as much as you did the cycle before. So when you're young, you get like 5-10 cycles in, and then you think, blimey, my sex drive is not as high as it used to be, and it takes longer to come back. So basically you're ruining your own testosterone production by taking steroids and SARMs, especially when you're younger. And if you're on things for years, if you look at all these older bodybuilders, most of them are on hormone replacement, and the reason they're on hormone replacement, and by the way, that's hormone replacement probably for life if you choose to take it for life, they need to take hormone replacement because they've basically shut down their body. Their body's not capable of making adequate amounts of testosterone because they've ruined it by taking loads of steroids and things over the years. So bear that one in mind. You don't want to be knackering your own hormones up when you're really young, because you're stuck on replacement for the rest of your life. And that's not always taking steroids for the rest of his life prescribed by a doctor. Well, that's good. Well, it really, because hormone replacement just means that it's replacing you back to natural levels. So you're back to where you was before you started taking the steroid stroke SARMs, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so you're not going to be jacked out of your head by taking little bits and bobs like that. So yeah, on conclusion, don't take steroids and SARMs when you're young. Just rinse the hell out of what you've got, and then when that stops after so many years, then look at taking something if you're still in that mindset. But anyway, I hope this video is helpful for somebody. Do what I say. I know I'm old, I've been there, done it, made the mistake. So I'd like some of you guys to learn by my mistakes. So on that note, if you got to the end of the video, thanks very much for watching, and as usual, please consider subbing to my little old boys channel. And if you've got any video ideas, because I'm struggling, then drop me in the comments. If you've got any other sort of comment suggestions, criticisms, are more than welcome. Then yeah, just fire them in the old comment. Look at this. Oh, 80. What's going on with that again? No wonder it's 26 degrees at 8 o'clock at night with vehicles like that. Getting out, man. Yeah, leave in the old comments and all that, and comment about 30 BMWs foreign subtle at me as well. Do whatever you need to do, yeah? On that note, speak to you on the next one. Goodbye.